everybody. This is Diesel.
This is Kitty.
And we are trying to do a new format for our deck profiles. So, Kitty, tell them a little bit about the deck What deck are we looking at today?
We're looking at Raging Form. Post... What is it? Set 9? G set 9?
Post G9? Okay.
Post G9.
So this is the wrapped version of Raging Form, is that right?
Yeah, this runs wrapped.
Okay. So we noticed that a lot of formats are doing just one person talking in front of a deck, and we think that's cool. And if you guys like that, you can let us know, and we'll go back to that. But what I thought might happen here is I haven't gotten a good chance to look at decks recently. So Hanson's going to give his deck profile, and then I'm going to throw out random questions that a player who's looking to get into this deck might ask, and he's going to answer them for me, hopefully. So, that being said, go ahead and start off and just...
So, starting off with the grade zeros, our starter is Spinbow Revenger. It's a good card because it helps you helps you draw into Raging Forms. When it boosts a Limit Break Vanguard, if it hits, you put into the soul, draw a card.
Okay, so it boosts, the attack hits, and you get to draw a card.
Yes.
Okay.
Then trigger lineup, 12 crit, preferably Revengers. I know some people like to run draws just so they can have that better chance of getting the Raging Forms in hand.
Okay, so convince me, why 12 crit rather than 10 and 2 or 8 and 4?
Because I haven't found a point yet where the draws are better than the crits.
On drive or damage?
On drive or damage.
Okay. So you'd rather just get in that extra crit. I understand that. It's Shadow Paladin. You don't have a lot of time to dick around and figure out what's going on. So, 12 crit. So, let me guess what the other part is. I'm thinking... one stand, one draw. That's 4 heals, right?
Yeah.
4 heals.
4 heals. Standard 4 heals. Revengers, preferably.
Right.
Revenger deck.
I mean, even I, who need to ask questions about the deck, don't need to ask why you're running 4 heals.
You got a G-Guard, Matt.
Man, I don't know.
I just don't want to die.
I just want to live.
Then for grade 1s, we got 2... Limit Break Enablers. They enable Limit Break, so if you're at 3 or less,
You want to be able to run that Raging Form, so...
it helps you early.
Yeah.
Now,
Why only 2? Is it because the other grade 1s are that important?
The other grade 1s will also help you search up the Raging Form.
I see.
And I used to run 4, but then this card came out. Detecting Revenger Ife.
What is that? What's that do?
So, it's an axe skill. On your turn, you rest it. Look at top 5 cards for a Raging Form. You find it, add it to your hand. If you don't, give a unit 2k.
I see. And he's a 6k?
6k attacker.
Okay, so worst case scenario, you're boosting somebody up to be, like,
11?
guardable.
Yeah.
And best case scenario, you're getting those dragons into your hand and out of your deck.
Yep.
I dig. Okay.
Then, for Mar, what he does is when he's placed on Vanguard, on Rear Guard, Counterblast 1, search a copy of your Vanguard from your deck. Which, as long as you're running on Raging Form, search up a copy of Raging Form.
I see.
Got it right in hand.
So you can do that with any grade? Like, you don't have to have a grade 3 Vanguard at that time?
No, it has to be grade 3.
It has to be grade 3. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. So it'll hit that Raging Form if you need it. If not, it'll thin your deck at least a little bit.
And then 4 Perfect Guards. Because the numbers are too big, those are scary.
Okay. So what I'm seeing here is I see a lot of 6Ks in your grade 1 set. And I know for a fact that your triggers are 5Ks and whatnot. So the numbers all come from the Vanguard in this deck? Is this like a...
Yes. Pretty much your whole power is the Vanguard. Because your back row is just there to die.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not going to stick around long being Shadow Paladins. Okay. Go for it. 2s.
So grade 2s we have Detonate Heat Dragon. If your Vanguard has Raging Form in its name, it gets 2k, and then turn you can counterblast, retire it, search up a copy of your Vanguard, put it into hand. Generally, it's there because it's an 11k attacker and it's just gonna die.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's by itself,
But
5k guard.
But it gives you more raging forms again, thinning out the deck of 3s.
Then, pretty much the key of the strategy to, to stand a lot is Dark Bless Angel. When she dies, you counterblast 1, shuts up a grade 1, put it on rear guard. It has to be a Revenger though, so running Stride Fodders or anything is just not going to work.
Right.
And then, everybody's favorite, Mana. 4 mana, but she's a free call.
Okay, so what does Mana do again? It's been a
When
while.
she's placed on rear guard, call a grade 1 from deck, and then in turn put it back on the bottom of the deck.
Okay, so if you can get it on the board so that you can ditch it for an ability.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter. It's all good.
Yep.
Free calls are good. I like free calls.
Then 4 Raging Form. Because quite frankly, it's called a Raging Form deck. You'd run less than 4 of your 8. You might be doing something wrong. But Limit Break. After he swings, retire 3 units. If you have a copy of him in hand, ride it. Give it 10,000 power.
Yep.
And then you can if you want, you can counterblast 1 against 3,000 power.
I'm having flashbacks, nightmares, cold sweats to Koheleth just destroying me with Raging Form over and over again. Because how can you have so many Raging Forms in one hand, some people would ask. But he finds ways.
You find a way. Then 4 Slay Hex Dragons. This card helps out so much because when you place it on Vanguard, if you rode over another Revenger, which whole deck's Revenger, so no problem there. You can counterblast 1, get your card from your hand, and search your deck for a Raging Form to ride on top of it, and then take that, put it into your hand.
Oh, it's a fixer.
Yup.
Should have stayed at 9k.
Sounds like some salt I hear.
Should have stayed at 9k.
9K.
Yeah, this card was revealed as a 9k. And
They changed it to 11. Well, kudos to them, I say.
right?
Because 9K means bad card. 9K grade 3.
I don't know. That means it's better.
You don't need that kind of negativity.
Better than the 8k that we had in Grand Blue, but it's Grand Blue.
Yeah.
So for the G Zone, on run 4 Wrapped. A lot of people like to run 3 just because ideally you're not going to use all 4.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I'm one of those people who like going for the big plays to where I could possibly ride all 3.
And it's one of those things that if you absolutely have to, having it is better than not having it.
So,
The
general play for him, because his cost is, while it sounds cheap, it's only a Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, and ditch 2 of your rear guards. Unfortunately, the cost does require you to ditch 2 Grade 3 Abyss Dragons, which all your Grade 3s are.
Okay.
But that only allow that without the Dark Bless Angels. That only allows you to re-ride twice.
Right.
But with them, 4 rides, that's 26 4 times. Most decks just cannot handle those numbers 4 times in a row.
Sure, especially when triggers are on the line. And now, does he lose any?
Yeah, because
draw
unfortunately
checks?
it's a re-ride, so you're re-riding and putting the old one back into the G zone.
Okay.
So he loses all triggers. And
But he still has triple drop.
no, after the first time every new re-ride goes down to twin drive.
Oh, okay. But it doesn't keep going down, so that's good.
It's just, first it's 3, 2, 2. Then 2 Aura Geysers. He's just really good at getting resources. Cheaply, too. It's a Counterblast and a Soul Blast. Kill 2. Look at the top 2 cards. For every grade 1 or less, he gets 5k. Those get added to hand. And then you get your normal.
Okay, there's your draw engine to make up for the fact that you're not running draw triggers.
Yeah. Then 2 Spectral Blaster Diablo.
Spectral Blaster Diablo. Didn't we say F that card? What does it do? Tell me why.
So it's a X skill. You Soul Blast 1, retire a unit.
Okay.
When he swings, after he swings, you retire 2 units and counterblast 2, and he stands minus 2 drive checks. But he restands, and he doesn't need to flip a copy of himself over. So if you're really having trouble getting those 3s and the cards you need for wrapped in your hand, you can run this guy pretty much and flip over wraps. If you're not, you just can't use them.
I follow.
Then I'm supposed to have 4 G Guardians, which I don't have, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I like running 4 Plot Maker. They're Ritual 3, get 10k 1000 power. Which Ritual 3 is just if you have 3 grade 1s and drop. Should be easy. Retiring your whole field.
So, little placeholder here for Ash to edit in. 3 Plot Maker dragons. Make it
4.
happen. 4 Plot
Four
Maker
Plot
dragons.
Makers.
Make it happen. Make it happen, Captain. All right.
And then the last 4 cards are Phantom Blaster Diablo. He's just really goddamn good.
Yeah.
A little less good now with G Guardians, but if your opponent cannot retire 2, you cannot guard from hands.
Right.
Hand.
Yeah.
Games 1,000.
So Diablo is still in play, and that card came out right after like G1, right? Like
I think
Legend deck.
GB3.
GB3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're now into the 10s, and the deck that came out right after GB3 is still going strong into a build.
Each strat that literally changed the game.
Yes, it made the game entirely different. Okay, so do you have a combo that you'd want to set up, or is this sort of a self-explanatory?
I can show it pretty easily.
Okay, while you're doing that, tell me. I know that this was post 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay, why this instead of Luard?
It's actually more of an opinion thing.
Mm-hmm.
While this can get that multiple attacks off, Luard is personally more of a defensive deck.
Okay.
It doesn't get those big numbers during your opponent's turn.
Okay, I see.
You maybe get 3-4 attacks off, where this gets 5-6 attacks off. Big numbers all around.
I see. Okay, so you're hoping for a big finish on a single turn where you just rack and demolish, and Luard is looking for a couple turns to do stuff.
The ideal way to win is to ride into him. Hopefully you have 1 or 2 of him in hand. Yeah, not that hard to really get with all the grade 1s.
Okay.
And then since you have the Limit Break Enabler, and you should be taking all the damage your opponent sends you, because you need to be at Limit Break 3 for Raft as well.
Mm-hmm.
Limit Break 4.
Now, if you're striding into Raft, your hope here is that you haven't had to use Raging Forms Counterblast 3, right? You want to make you're hoping that you have a lot of Counterblasts.
Yeah, you're going to want a lot of Counterblast to...
So, doing Raging Form's ability is more of a secondary, if you can't get Wrap going kind of thing?
I guess the best way to describe it is, if you're going first, you're going to be grade 3 first.
Okay.
And if you have the Limit Break Enablers,
you can go ahead and get it done.
You can
wreck them on 2.
End the game while they're at 2.
Okay.
Don't have to worry about strides or anything. Just end the game there.
Right.
So on that note, why not run more Limit Break Enablers as opposed to IF?
Because IF stretches out these.
Because
Mana and Dark Bless will search out the Limit Break Enablers.
I see. Okay.
So if you end up having to kill one for Raging Form, you can just call another.
Sweet.
And like I said, early game, you're just going to keep taking all the damage because you need it.
Right. So, show me this combo. You got some 3s in your hand.
So, ideally, you're going to have...
striding into Wrapped.
Good number of your 3s in hand.
Sure.
Then, let's just say you dropped one for the stride cost.
Sure.
So you'll have Mana, 1 Dark Blast, and quite frankly, the grade 1 lineup does not matter. You really had to throw down a trigger. So ideally, you're gonna swing with one rear guard column. They see you're on wrap, so they're probably going to guard it. They don't want to have to deal. They're not going to want to deal with the small numbers.
Right. Their hope is to save all their guard for the wrap turn.
And then you're going to swing with this, not boosting yet because that's a potential retire during your turn.
Sure.
So you do your triple drive.
Bam! 3 crits.
Yep. Kitty's a fucking sack.
Yeah, sack.
Diesel can attest to that.
Sack is strong. Okay.
So, because at the end of the battle, he's going to be in the G zone with a new copy flipped over.
Okay.
Trigger's gone. You're gonna put him on your
triggers don't matter.
The rear guard that did not attack.
Sure.
Then the 2 that did attack die. And if in Dark Blast, you'll counterblast 1. Call grade 1. It doesn't matter which grade 1. Again, it's just gonna die.
So we throw out a grade 1. Hopefully not that one, but
Then this time boost it.
bam.
Twin drive this time, but yeah, crits because like I said,
That's right.
Kitty's a fucking sack.
Twin drive.
And then you're gonna retire the card you called and your booster.
And you ride them a third time. And
Ride a
any
third
of these
time.
5s that you need to go on the third row, you put it on the third row, and it's just like boom,
Yep,
boom, boom.
just all there.
Stack.
So then
stack.
suddenly,
So this guy...
this is like 30 crit. No, I'm sorry, 30. Yeah, 30
Right.
crit.
25. Like, if we put everything on it, that was a plus 25 and plus 5 crit. Like, that's something they have to deal with right off the bat. And you get one more swing with 2 more triggers.
And then another swing.
Wow.
Now,
He's not that lucky. He had to get grade 3 eventually, but...
And that's pretty much the deck, because you're going to retire this. If you can pay the cost, 4th one, no field, so they expect. So if you're playing a person who runs anything that says, oh, for every open space, you're screwed.
All right. So, I'm a new player. What are the hurdles that this deck has to overcome? What makes it hard to win with it?
Because your opponent essentially knows that you need limit break. I've had games where my opponent literally just decided not to attack my Vanguard.
Okay, so they keep you starved on stuff for as long as they can, but that's not a huge bad strategy for you, because if they're not dealing damage to you,
Yeah, they're not dealing damage to
they're
me.
not winning the game either.
There's no way for them to win,
Right.
whatsoever.
Budget wise, how hard is it to build this deck?
Well, luckily we had reprints of Raging Form. I run the old ones because I had them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like $2 a piece.
Okay. What about Wrapped himself, the Stride deck? What's the pricey thing in the Stride deck?
I run just because I was stupid and bought every Shadow Legend deck that came into our state. I run 4 of the shiny Diablos, but they're like $5 a piece on shiny.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I run the 2 Spectrals. I think the last time I checked were like 10 a piece.
Okay.
Maybe a little less
They're
now.
not too bad.
Orgaz got reprinted. I think it's like $4 now.
Okay. Super Lamb.
And Wrapped, again, like a $2 card.
Okay.
Just because they're abundant. They're in abundance right now.
So in comparison to other decks, this Stride deck is fairly cheap to get going.
The money is the G Guardians. Unfortunately, Ritual 3.
Oh, the plot makers, that's right.
Yeah, plot makers are
going,
like 13 apiece.
Yeah, they're going up, and because they're good in both, right? They're good in this. And
I haven't found a shadow deck that's not good in, just because it does so much retiring. You're gonna have those ones in.
Okay.
Now I know some people like running. What's the Fire Collection guy's name? Ludwig. And what he does is he takes your grade 1 from your rear guard, puts it on Guardian Circle. I don't like that in this deck, just because I need them on my turn.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Now, Luard works great. You're just going to get him back. But not here. Maybe in PBA. But not Raging Form.
Okay, so last question. 1 to 10. Where do you rate this deck in the meta? Like,
I would say probably a 7.
Okay. And today, just to let you guys know, this is early February. So this is right after Tuckamarabu came out. And
Right before Try 3.
right before Try 3. So I think that's pretty good. Hope you guys enjoyed this new format. You guys let us know in the comments below what you think. If you have any questions on the deck, Kitty
Just
will
comment.
be glad to
I'll respond quickly.
Yeah, and we are glad that you guys checked this out. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Peace.